Every day we use money. We swipe cards, tap our phones, or hand over bills without thinking twice. But have you ever stopped to wonder how this strange system of coins, paper, and digital numbers came to dominate human civilization? How did we go from trading chickens for grain to cryptocurrencies that exist only as lines of code on our blockchain? The history of money is a story about human ingenuity, trust, and the evolution of societies themselves. The story begins in the earliest human societies with barter. Barter is simple. People exchange goods and services directly. A farmer trades wheat for a pot, or a hunter trades meat for tools. But barter had limitations. What if the person you wanted to trade with didn't need what you had? How could you compare the value of a cow to a bag of grain or a handmade tool? As societies grew larger and more complex, barter became inefficient, unreliable, and impractical for large-scale trade. To solve this problem, early civilizations turned to commodity money, objects that had intrinsic value and could be widely accepted in trade. Different cultures chose different commodities. In Mesopotamia, silver and grain were used. In Africa and the Pacific Islands, shells and beads served as currency. In the Andes, large stones or llama wool were sometimes used. These commodities had value beyond trade because people needed or respected them, making them more reliable than barter for building long-distance commerce. Commodity money also allowed early societies to assign a relatively stable measure of value to goods, laying the groundwork for more complex economies. Around 600 BCE, a revolutionary step occurred: the first metal coins. Ancient Lydia, in what is now modern-day Turkey, minted the first coins from electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver. Coins had a standardized weight and value, which made trade simpler, faster, and more trustworthy. With coins, merchants could travel further, empires could expand trade networks, and governments could collect taxes more efficiently. Coins also represented the rise of centralized authority. The state guaranteed their value, stamping the ruler's seal onto every piece. Over the centuries, coins evolved across cultures, from the gold coins of ancient Rome to the beautifully engraved drachmas of Greece and the intricately designed coins of medieval China, each reflecting the culture, economy, and artistry of the society that minted them. But carrying large amounts of metal was heavy, risky, and inconvenient. This challenge gave rise to paper money, first appearing in 7th century China during the Tang and Song dynasties. Initially, merchants issued promissory notes, which evolved into government-backed currency. Paper money was lighter, easier to transport, and could represent large sums without moving mountains of metal. By the 13th century, Marco Polo marveled at paper currency in China, predicting that Europeans would one day adopt similar systems, a prediction that would come true centuries later. Paper money allowed for far greater flexibility in trade, taxation, and government administration, and it fundamentally changed how societies thought about wealth and trust. The rise of paper money led to the creation of banks and credit systems, which transformed economies. Banks allowed individuals and merchants to deposit money, take loans, and transfer wealth without physically moving coins. This enabled commerce on an unprecedented scale, fueling urban growth, trade networks, and the early stages of global markets. Governments eventually embraced fiat currency, money without intrinsic value, backed instead by trust in the issuing authority. Today, almost all currencies are fiat, relying entirely on collective confidence in their stability and the economy that supports them. The 20th century brought another dramatic shift. The collapse of the gold standard, which had tied currency value to physical gold reserves, allowed governments to print money more freely and manage their economies with new tools like inflation control, interest rates, and fiscal policy. This flexibility came with new risks, including inflation, currency devaluation, and economic instability. At the same time, digital technology began transforming money once again. Credit cards, online banking, and mobile payments made physical money almost optional, enabling transactions across the globe in seconds. Then came cryptocurrency, a radical innovation. Bitcoin, created in 2009, introduced a decentralized digital form of money. Unlike traditional currency, it isn't issued by any government or bank. Its supply is fixed and it operates on a blockchain, a public ledger that is transparent, secure, and almost impossible to manipulate. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies challenge centuries of monetary tradition, forcing us to rethink what money is, who controls it, and how trust is established in society. Throughout history, money has been more than just a medium of exchange. It's a social contract, a reflection of trust between individuals, communities, and governments. It has shaped civilizations, enabled trade across continents, and driven technological, cultural, and political progress. From cowrie shells to coins, from paper notes to blockchain, money is a mirror of human society itself, reflecting our creativity, our cooperation, and our desire to organize complex societies. So the next time you pay for a coffee, tap your card, or scan a QR code, remember, you're participating in a system thousands of years in the making. Money isn't just currency. It's the story of humanity's ability to cooperate, innovate, and assign value to the world around us. And as technology continues to advance, the story of money is far from over. Who knows what the next chapter will look like?